Scorpio, what's up, y'all? How are you guys doing? It is bonus time. It is time for your February 2026 bonus reading. Now, when I do bonus readings, what it is that I'm looking for is details, situations, or scenarios that did not make it into the first round of monthly readings. And hell, we'll check and see if timelines changed as well. I no longer do a whole extra round of readings to see if timelines changed. We'll just lump it into the bonus reading. If any of you need a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to do that in the description of this video. All right, let's jump into this. Starting this off with your love interest. See if there's any details I missed. Or did timelines change? Somebody got to give me a good reading for your love interest, man. That's always, I'm going to be 100% real with you. That one has the highest probability of not being good. Very rarely does that turn out positive. But it could. It's possible. Lovers reverse, man. See, King of Cups reversed. It's already coming straight out the gate. You know, one thing I noticed with these, not only, I've told you all a million times that the overwhelming majority of the time, the client that comes to me for a reading has been dealing with the person for a ridiculously long time. But it's always like the same issues, like every time. Three of Swords comes out, right? Highly suspecting a third party. Maybe there is a third party. A lot of times there is. King of Cups reversed, emotional unavailability, emotional manipulation. Red flags that I think a lot of you are choosing not to look at. And the Hangman. No forward movement. Things are stuck. So, I don't know though. It's almost kind of starting to get to a feeling, it's starting to feel like you're just over it. Not even losing sleep over it anymore, you know? So, especially if you're one of those people who have been dealing with this person for at least 6 months, that's a lot more common than you would think. I see that 8 out of 10 times in my personal readings. After a while, it gets to a point where it's like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Fuck it. You know, no decision is being made. No love offer is being made to take things to the next level. So this is no new start in love. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius. I also have Gemini. Is that it? Yep, that's it. But, you know, it could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. What's this person's deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Scorpio's love interest. King of Swords. If you're wondering whether or not this person has feelings for you, they don't. I'm just going to be all the way real about it, dude. I'm not going to dance around it. Now, for those of you who have just recently connected with this person, you can give it a little bit more time. But I know the majority of you have been dealing with this person for a long time. Way too long. Way too long. If you've been dealing with this person for 3 months, let's say 3 months, and you're confused about whether or not they actually have feelings for you, they don't. They don't. When somebody loves you, you're going to fucking know it. I don't really think this person's trying to settle down with anyone. And yes, I do think there is a third party. Or at least a third energy. If they're not actively seeing someone else, there's someone else they're interested in. Three of Cups, Three of Swords. I have a feeling that a lot of you are suspicious of someone specific. For those of you suspicious of a specific person, say that 10 times fast. Suspicious of a specific person. I think your intuition is bang on the money. Bang on the money. So, yeah, this is an opportunist. This is the type of person that's not going to pass up on any opportunity with anyone. Anyone. Period. Period. All right. I'm not going to sit and spin in circles with this shit here today. If you want more details, you know where to get a personal reading. I also have the one question readings too, for those of you who missed the memo on that. We just put that back on there a couple of weeks ago so that, and they're the same price as the general readings. So if you have a question, you want me to answer something specifically and dig into something specifically, we got those back on the website now. Everybody's been writing me for months and months and months asking, what happened to those? When are they coming back? And we said, fuck it, let's just put them on there. Same price as the general readings. Let's get the advice. What advice do we have for Scorpio? Do-do-do. World card. So I think this mainly goes out to those of you who have been dealing with this person since last year. I know some of y'all are still with me. I know there's some of you still with me. You didn't believe me, did you? That's okay. I'm not mad at you. I was telling you in November, December, don't drag this energy into 2026. Don't do it. If you don't release this energy now, you're going to have another repeat of 2025 next year. You and this person are just going to spin in circles. If you've been spinning in circles with this person since July, August, you'll be spinning in the same circles next July, August. I know there's a couple of you who got mad when I said that, right? Oh, that Rich is such an asshole. He don't know what he's talking about. He's such a negative asshole. Okay, go do what you want. And here you are, still spinning in circles, right? It's okay, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. But do you get the picture now? Do you get it? I'm not here to say I told you so. It has nothing to do with I know more than you. It ain't nothing to do with that. I'm here to help you. My goal is to help you. I want to see you with your divine life partner. That's what I want to see. I'm not here to just talk shit about your relationship. I want to see you with your fucking person. I'm sick of seeing people spinning in circles in relationships that are obviously fighting against them. And then it's too late. You know how many times I see that? You know how sad that is? I see that all the time. All the time. People come to me desperate, broken. They spun in circles with the wrong person. Years and years and years and years, spinning in circles, spinning in circles, spinning in circles, spinning in circles. Now they are such a broken, shattered mess of who they once were. It's too late. It's too late. It's too fucking late. They can't even find all the fucking pieces to pick them up and put them back together. The hole they've dug themselves is so deep, they don't even have the strength to get up and climb out of it. I hate seeing that. It doesn't have to happen that way. Because I'm telling you what right now, the pain of walking away from something now is nothing compared to the pain you're going to feel later on down the line. When that hole is so fucking deep, you can't even climb out of it. You have a divine life partner waiting on you out there. It's not a matter of finding that person. It's not a matter of bringing somebody into your life and bending them and trying to cram them into that box. It's a matter of identifying who is not your person and making sure you stay the hell away from those people. The universe is going to bring your person to you. You ain't going to find that person. You may as well stop looking for them. You ain't going to find them. When you're in vibrational alignment, it doesn't matter if you're in Alaska and they're in China. The universe is going to bring that person into your life. Okay. Take that and do with it what you will. All right. Now, let's see what's going on in the current long-term relationship. Last time I did the current person, I blended long-term and short-term together. And when I do that, I have to be really general and dance around a lot of things that I can't dig into. Now we're looking at long-term specifically. If you're not in a long-term relationship in which you are experiencing challenges, obstacles, and problems, then this is not for you. Let's see how the energy's looking between Scorpio and the current long-term partner. Nobody's walking away. Some of you have recently reconciled after you walked away. Some of you have been on and off, basically. Somebody here has some trust issues. Somebody here highly suspects infidelity. Highly suspects infidelity. Don't know who, and I don't know if those concerns are warranted yet. We'll find out here in a minute. But honestly, are you even in love with this person anymore? Honestly. This is telling me you're not. I know sometimes that can be a hard thing to come to grips with. Sometimes that can be a scary thing to even admit to yourself. But this is looking like, now I think this especially, this isn't limited to, but especially those of you dealing with somebody that you broke up with and just got back with. This is a successfully completed soul contract. This connection has run its course. It's served its purpose. It's complete. So, y'all are trying to stick it out though, ain't you? Trying to. God damn it. God damn it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. For some of you, you're dealing with a situation in which there was infidelity and you agreed to try to work through it. I know that's not all of you, but I know it's some of you. I hear it all the time in my personal readings. All right? We were together for 3 years, and then I caught him fucking the neighbor. And we broke up and got back together. Is he still fucking the neighbor? I hear that all the time, dude. I hear that all the time. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? I think this person wants long-term commitment. They're still bitter, though. They're holding on to a lot of bitterness. A lot of things. Yep, they're holding on to a lot of bitterness from the past. So any issues, challenges, or obstacles that you all have experienced, they haven't released any of that energy. That fight y'all got into 6 months ago, they didn't release that energy. They just swallowed it and buried it. So they're still holding on to a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness. They want long-term stable commitment, but I'm not seeing somebody in love. I'm not seeing, the only cups I have on the table is the 5 and 6 of cups reversed. This doesn't indicate somebody in love. 7 of cups. they do wonder if the grass is greener on the other side somewhere. So for those of you wondering whether or not any infidelity is happening right now, well, I think it's just a matter of time. This looks like the type of person that wants to have their cake and eat it too. Yeah. What happens if you try to have your cake and eat it too? What happens? There's only one way you can have your cake and eat it too. The only way you can do that is if you eat your cake and have a piece of shit. It's the only way it works. All right. Advice. We ain't dancing in circles this morning, boy. We get straight to it. 2026. We about to step into the year of the horse here next week. It's my birthday in 2 days too. I ain't got time to mess around, boy. I'll be 38 in 2 days. I'm getting old, ain't I? You know what's funny though? I don't look a day older than I did when I was fucking 16. I got some gray in my beard, and that's about it. I'm one of them millennials that they talk about that it's like, why do the millennials still look like teenagers? All I drink is Kangen water. That probably helps. It's funny, too, because back then, everybody always thought I was older. When I was 16, everybody thought I was 40. And I heard that my whole life. I'm like, when am I going to fucking catch up to my age, you know? Finally, here I am catching up to my age, and most people think I'm younger. All right. All right, well, the only thing I'm going to tell you is that this connection has served its purpose. That's all I'm going to tell you. This has served its purpose. And I usually try to steer away from that when I do readings on my main channel, because that's very specific to the individual. But I think that this message right here is targeted to a very specific group of you. It may not be very many of you. But even if it's only for that one small little group of you, this feels like something in which this connection has served its purpose. Don't try to fight against the universe, especially those of you who have been on and off with this person. Now, if you really want to increase the chances of longevity in this situation, the best thing you can do is just sit back, shut up, and deal with it. I'm not saying do that. Not saying do that. I wouldn't fucking do that. I'm just saying, if you want to increase the chances of longevity, that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. With one exception. If you're dealing with a person that turns everything into a fight, I was just telling some other sign this earlier. If you're in one of them relationships where somebody turns everything into a fight, I know there's a couple of you, right? It don't matter what you do. They turn it into a fight. It don't matter what you say. They twist it into an argument. If you're working on fixing this, they start complaining about that. If you start working on fixing that, they start complaining about this other thing. If there is nothing to complain about, they could walk into a perfect world where there is no flaws and everything is perfect. They'd rather grab a hammer and break a window just to have something to complain about, right? If you're with one of those people, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. All you can do is walk away from that. You want to know why? Because I have a feeling it may only be one or two of you that need to hear this. But I feel like the one or two of you that need to hear this have been trying to fix this for way too long. And I'm going to tell you why you're never going to fix it. Because they are physiologically addicted to the chemicals produced by negative emotions. Your body can literally become addicted to negative emotions. Your emotions flood your body full of chemicals. And yes, you can get addicted to them. So when you're with one of those people who's addicted to fighting, they're addicted to arguing, it doesn't matter what you do. They don't want a resolution. They don't want to understand you. They don't want to see eye to eye with you. They want to fight with you. That's why you could hand them $1 million. And this $1 million could be fresh, hot off the press. You know what they're going to do? They're going to crinkle up the bills just so they can complain about something. So they can complain about the bills being too wrinkly. They don't want to be happy. They're addicted to negativity. They're addicted to bitching. They're addicted to complaining. They're addicted to fighting. All you can do is walk. You're never going to fix that person, ever. Ever. They don't want to see the good in you. All you can do is walk away from that. That's it. If only one person needed to hear that, I've done my job. All right. Past person. Let's see if there's any details I left out about the person from the past. Past person. Or did timelines change? Fuck it. Anything we can tell Scorpio about the past person? Well, this person's pretty intimidated by you, honestly. You do not look like you would care to hear from them, from their perspective. Now, obviously, if you're here watching this video, then that's not true. But that's the way they see you. It looks from their end like you're doing 10 times better than you were ever doing with them. You look like you completely forgot that they existed. Completely. And of course, while, how am I gotta word this carefully. While they perceive that to be the energy that you're casting onto them, they're gonna try to mirror that back to you. So they're trying to pretend that they've completely forgotten about you. They're trying to pretend that their life is so much better without you. They're projecting to you what they feel like you're projecting to them. So this looks like silence. Loud silence too, by the way. Tension. Very, very thick tension. For those of you wondering whether or not you're just making this up in your head, no, you're not. No, you're not. Neither of you have moved on from this. Neither of you have. Some of you could be dealing with a fellow Scorpio, but I feel like that's your energy. Also have Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, but again, it could be anybody. See, here's the doozy here. And I feel a little bit reluctant to say this, but there is potential here. And the reason why I'm reluctant to say that is because just because there's potential, see, in order for a reconciliation to work successfully, both people involved have to bring a new energy back to the connection. Both people involved. Not just one person, not just the other person. Not just the person who did wrong, not just the person who has the most issues that they need to work on. The primary law is the law of vibration. Therefore, we must both bring a different vibration back to the connection if we want to make it to a new timeline that produces a different outcome. That's not Rich Lopp's little theory. That is an immutable universal law. So I'm reluctant to tell you how much potential there is here because the likelihood that you're going to get somebody else to bring a new energy back to the connection is kind of slim because that work is hard work. That work sucks. None of us like doing that kind of work. I don't like doing that kind of work. So if you have somebody who is spiritually dead asleep and energetically ignorant, not only are they not going to want to do that work, but that thought isn't even an existing concept in their mind. But yes, if the two of you did get on the same page at the same time, working towards the same goal, you could build one hell of a successful life partnership. You could. But the two of you are like mirroring each other. And mirroring isn't going to work. You're never going to lay a solid foundation with somebody that you're mirroring. So, excuse me, let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. They want to talk to you. I think they want to reconcile, but they don't want to waste their time. They don't, how do I say this? I'm always trying to figure out a way to word this. They don't want to put themselves in a situation where it looks like they care more than you. Does that make sense? You know, that would make them feel, that would embarrass the shit out of them if you really don't give a shit about them and they still have feelings for you. The thought of that embarrasses them. So they do not want to let you know that they have any kind of feelings at all because they don't want to be embarrassed. They're trying to project back to you the energy that they feel like you're projecting towards them. And that's when it turns into a mirroring act. And then it goes from a mirroring act to trying to gain control of the situation. And then that's just where it all falls to shit. We're not going to build anything with that. If we can't just both be grown-ass adults and let our guards down, put our egos aside and be fucking vulnerable with each other, if we can't do that, it ain't going to work. It just ain't gonna. Oh well, I guess let's get the advice. Devil. Well, Five of Wands. So first things first. Okay, and I always have to explain this to my personal clients. You probably heard me say this before on videos like this, but this is really important information. Closure. Closure has to happen no matter what you want to do. But before you get closure, you have to completely suspend your expectations. People always go into closure with an expectation. A lot of times people are afraid to get closure because they're afraid of getting closure because they're afraid of letting it go. Closure doesn't mean you're letting it go. Closure does not mean that you're shutting the door on this permanently. Closure means you're clearing the energy. You're clearing your energetic pathway. That's what closure means. That's what it means. I'm not worried about what's going to happen after this. All I know is I'm clearing the air on my end. That's what closure is. If you have expectations of how you want that conversation to go, don't do it. It's not a conversation. I'm not here to have a back and forth with you. I'm here to tell you that the air is clear on my end. That's what I'm here to tell you. What you do with that is your choice. If you never want to talk to me again, whatever. I don't care. I'm clearing the air. I don't know what I want to do yet. Maybe I'll want to revisit this connection. Maybe I'll want to move forward. I have to clear the air and clear the energy first before I can even think about that. That's what I would do here. Shoot this person a closure message. And this is very important, because this could turn into a repeat cycle if you're not careful. When you shoot somebody a closure message, you have to keep them at an arm's distance. Because what happens if I send you closure and you say, oh my God, I miss you, I love you so much, woo, 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 woo. and I say, okay, let's get back together. Well, the energy, we didn't clear the energy. We didn't clear the energy. Me just telling you that I clear the air, that doesn't clear the energy. It takes time for that energy to clear. When I shoot you a closure message and let you know that the air is clear on my end, it's going to be at least 8 weeks of that energy to clear and the trajectory of my life path to change. So you're going to have to get closure and keep them at an arm's distance while the energy slowly clears away. And then, once you can genuinely tap in and feel this out, and you feel an energetic shift between you and this person, then ask yourself, what do I want to do with this? Don't even worry about it until after you do that. Because if you jump right back into this, it's just going to turn into a toxic shit show. Clear the energy, get closure, and then ask yourself what you want to do with this, all right? All right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.